Yes, that is right. Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria will not be a close fight if it does happen. And that's for a simple reason because Ilya is too good and Makhachev's gonna get knocked out.
Careful that he doesn't punch himself out. Oh! Massive knockdown from Topuria! And still, he does it again! Ilia Topuria!
Now, before you all click off the video because I'm delusional, you're the delusional one if you think Islam's beating Ilya. That's just the sad truth of it. Ilya's much better than Makhachev. Makhachev obviously has the ground advantage, but it's the base in wrestling that Ilya has in Greco-Roman wrestling that will edge him in this fight. And we all know Ilya has unstoppable power at 145 and 155 as he has knockouts in both. And he just cracked the best chin in UFC history in brutal fashion. Thank you all to my viewers for reminding me to make a video. You gave me the passion to do this again. Sorry for the long delay. We've been busy wedding stuff and everything. So it's good to be back. Now, why won't this be a close fight? Islam Makhachev is known for his great wrestling, and I've seen the comments. People are really delusional. They think Islam's gonna walk through Ilia Topuria. It's gonna be easy fight. He's gonna KO him like he did Volk because he's susceptible to head kicks. But that's just a lie. Jai Herbert fight was like 2 years ago, and he hasn't been caught with a head kick since. And both Volkanovski and Max Holloway were better strikers than Islam Makhachev tried to implement the head kick, and it did nothing. So you really think Islam Makhachev is going to head kick KO? You're delusional. You're deluded if you think Islam's going to KO Ilia Topuria. You're really deluded. And we saw in the fight with Dustin Poirier, who's a good boxer, and we all know Ilia Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC. We saw how he struggled in the later rounds against him. And Ilia is much better wrestling and wrestling defense than someone like Dustin Poirier. So we could see a lot of problems. If he catches Islam like the same way like Dustin Poirier did, he's gonna knock him out. It's just as simple as that. We all know Ilia Topuria's power is different. He's a little poetan. This won't be a close fight. Ilya's gonna knock him out. We all saw everyone's just gonna claim like, but Ilya got taken down by Bryce Mitchell one time, and everyone keeps talking about how great Khabib was because he dominated Edson Barbosa. Bryce Mitchell did the same in a later version, a better version in wrestling defense than Khabib did, but no one gave him credit for that. And he took him down once. Once. And what happened later in that fight? He submitted him. So if you think that's a reasoning for him, if you think that's a reasoning why Islam's going to beat Ilia Topuria, you're delusional. Same with the people thinking Evloev is going to beat Ilia. I've never seen more deluded people in my life. If you think Evloev is beating Topuria, you're so deluded. You should honestly stop watching the UFC because nothing can save you, bro. Nothing can save you from that opinion. That's horrible. Ilya's something different. You've never seen anyone like him. His power is different from such a low weight class. His wrestling is great. He took down Max with ease. He didn't really try to attempt to keep him on the ground. It was just there to mix in the takedowns to make him think differently when he was up against the cage. And I know he won't be able to do that against Islam. I don't think he will be able to take down Islam, but I don't think he needs to take down Islam. And in every fight Topuria's been in, he's been able to get his opponent against the cage. And I don't think it's different going to be with Islam. Islam struggles to take you down in the middle of the cage. That's how Dustin Poirier did so good with his takedown defense. He never went against the cage. The cage is where Ilya can lose this fight. If Islam can get him against the cage, he can easily take him down. His cage wrestling is the best in the world, just like Khabib's. But in the middle of the cage, his takedown defense is not the best we've ever seen. We can see Dustin Poirier stuff for takedowns, Volkanovski stuff for takedowns, and Ilya will be able to do the same. If you rewatch the Bryce Mitchell fight, he did it excellently. He will be able to do the same against Islam. Now, how is Islam going to get him against the cage to get his nice takedowns? He won't be able to. Who pushes the pace at every fight? Ilya. Ilya's never on the back foot except if he's dodging shots. So how is Islam gonna push him against the cage? Just make it make sense. How I see this fight going, it's gonna be a close competitive fight for the first 3 rounds. Ilya will be taken down. Islam will definitely be able to take down Ilya, in the first couple rounds, and I believe he will be able to control him for most of the rounds. So I believe he will probably take the early second and third round, and I believe in the fourth, because we see with Islam's fights, he does tend to slow down how longer the fight goes on. So I believe it will slow down, and Ilya will start catching him, body work, body work, body work, like he does in every fight, and he's going to drop his arms, push him against the cage, and knock him out. Flat out. One of the most brutal chaos we'll probably ever see is going to happen against Islam Makhachev. And if you don't believe this, you're delusional and you're just biased towards Islam. You don't see the true facts like I do and my fans do. So, if this fight does happen, come back to this video and you will see how Ilia KOs Islam stiff. Now, I'm quickly going to do the analysis of UFC 308 because I promised you guys like a week ago, but I've been really busy, like I said, so that's unfortunate. But in the main event, Ilia Topuria obviously KO'd Max Holloway, TKO'd. He wouldn't get up either way. And it was exactly like us we predicted. Everyone in my comments agreeing with me. Shout out to all the haters in the comments who were trashed on by my fans. Um, you guys definitely saw what I saw, and exactly happened like what and exactly and it exactly happened like we predicted. You know, it's going to use the leg kick to slow down Max Holloway and eat at his body, and in the later rounds he's going to catch him overhand as he drops his arms, and that's exactly what happened. And he caught him with a nasty left hook. Like Pereira's in competition for who has the nastiest left hook, because that was nasty. It was like perfect technique, perfect torque, everything was a nasty shot. And the co-main, Robert Whittaker, I really feel bad for Whittaker because I do think the fight could have gone longer if he didn't have that previous jaw injury that he did have. So I did predict the first round submission, but I thought it would be an actual submission and not freak accident. Still props to Hamza. Hamza's scary, man. I'm really stressed for Dricus because Dricus is one of my favorite fighters, and that's going to be a really close fight. I do hope it happens instead of Strickland. Strickland does not deserve a title shot after beating someone Robert Whittaker already beat in the previous fight in a better fashion. So, um, honestly, that was a great fight. Hamza Chimaev is scary, man. He's scary at 180, man. He's really scary. And Leon Murphy, I thought it was a robbery personally. Well, not a robbery, it was a really close fight, but I gave it to Dan Ige, not to Leon Murphy. But it was a great fight, got the prediction right. Now, Magomed Ankalaev versus Rakic, I completely overestimated Rakic. Rakic is much worse than I thought. But I do think Magomed Ankalaev got a bit exposed in the striking. He was getting outstruck in the first round, and then for some reason Rakic has decided to stop striking in the next few rounds, which is very concerning. I did not understand it. So that was weird. I don't know why that happened, but I believe Pereira will knock out Ankalaev if he does strike with him. Even if he does mix him with wrestling, I believe with a few years of Alex Pereira's training, his takedown defense has gotten a lot better. So I doubt he will be able to take him down. And the Ulubay fight was amazing. One of the best fights I've ever seen. Probably fight of the year. That was really great. Orobay's tough, man. Orobay's really tough. I've never seen someone as tough as him in the fight game before. That was insane when he survived that. But unfortunately, he did lose. Which was the right choice. The other guy did deserve a win. And we got a few robberies early on the card. I can't remember the names, and a few injuries. Man, I feel bad for Chris Barnett. I really like Chris Barnett. He's really cool. And his wife died. And then he had this injury and everything, man. I hope he comes back stronger. And it was a good card overall. I know a lot of people are shitting on the card, but I thought it was amazing. My favorite card of the year, mainly because of Ilya, but that's just me. But yeah, thank you all for watching.